אישי ראש הממשלה, מר בנימין נתניהו, והגברת שרה נתניהו. Mr. Prime Minister, I was listening very carefully to your very eloquent description about your vision of the future. Let me say one word. When I'm thinking about the past, we were divided. We were divided about the past. The only way to unite is about the future. And I think that's our purpose, to seek union about the right future for Israel. אבל לפני זה, אני רוצה להודות לכל באי הוועידה, לאלפים שבאו בשעריה. אני לא ראיתי תמונה כזו. ששלושה ימים ישבו אלפי אנשים בהקשבה דרוכה, ברצון למצות את הטוב והמאוחד מכולנו. מגיע לכם תודה מקרב לב. אני רוצה להודות לראשי המדינה, למנהיגי הציבור, להוגי הדעות, לאנשי הדת, לאמנים, ליזמים, למדענים. ובראש ובראשונה, האיש שהיה יושב ראש ועדת ההיגוי וניהל את הוועידה הזו, ידידי ישראל מימון. תודה מקרב לב. ולאבי גיל, שהיה אחראי על התוכן והיה יוצא מגדר הרגיל. מרתק, מעניין, אינטלקטואלי ומעמיק. אבי, תודה מקרב לב. יחד עם הצוות שאתה הפעלת. לחברי המטה המבצע, לאוניברסיטה העברית, להפקה, לביטחון, לצוותים שעבדו ללא לאות, למתנדבים ולסטודנטים. ישראל יכולה לשאת את עיניה להיות ארץ של מופת. Now I shall make some remarks in English. I want to take the only advantage I have upon most of you, and that is my age. I can't think about anything else. What is the advantage? Because I can remember the early days, the early dreams we have had. And I'm trying to think, what were the dreams? One was to have Jewish people. There's no sense to have a Jewish state without Jewish people. At that time we were 650,000, and the great dream we had is to become 1 million people. 1 million people. Now we're close to 8 million. Not all of them Jewish, but 6 million are Jewish. The second dream was to cultivate our land with our own hands. We called it Avodah Ivrit. Why? We didn't want to become a colonial power and have natives. We said, we shall do all the physical work ourselves. And first of all, to cultivate the land by our own hands. At that time, we didn't know that you can cultivate the land by your brains, not only by your hands. And that's a great change. We made from agriculture a high-tech. And then we thought we shall have a different way of life. We prayed that we shall overcome the war, the hatred, shall have peace. Just to give you a good example what I mean by this dream, there was a meeting between David Ben-Gurion and de Gaulle. Not the same height, but the same greatness. And we were sitting around the table. We had lunch at the Élysée. It was a beautiful, shining summer day in Paris. And around the table, there were 4 persons. De Gaulle was the president of France. Debré was prime minister. David Ben-Gurion was the prime minister of Israel, and myself. We were in a good mood. And then de Gaulle turned to Ben-Gurion and says, Mr. Prime Minister, we are just 4 of us. We can speak frankly. Tell me, what are your greatest dreams in life? I know you don't have land. Would you like to have a little bit of the Sinai Desert? Would you like to have a little bit of the Moab Mountains? I know you don't have water. Would you like to have a little bit of the Litani River? A little bit of other rivers? Tell me, I shall not tell anybody, just between the 2 of us. Ben-Gurion was a very naive person in many ways. He became red and white, and he says, Mr. President, would you ask me this question 50 years ago? Maybe. I would give you a map about rivers, about mountains, about deserts. But if you ask me, what is my dream today? I'll tell you very frankly, more Jews. De Gaulle was shocked to his bones. More Jews, he said, what for? Then de Gaulle stood up at the garden where Couve d'Amerville, the foreign minister, and Guy Mollet was at that time, and deputy prime minister, another one, says, Couve, when he called everybody to come. They came in and says, you know what are the great hidden dream of the Prime Minister of Israel? More Jews. And then the Gaulle asked him, and where are they going to come from? And he says, from everywhere. He says, what do you mean? Everywhere? He says, yes. He says, give me an example. So Maimon says, America. He says, America? They will give up their Cadillacs. That's the French and how they announce Cadillacs. And Maimon said, yes. He says, where else? He says, from Russia. He says, will the Communist Party permit them to leave Russia? Really? You are serious? Remember, this was 61. So Maimon says, I'll tell you something. The communist system, the Bolshevik, is the least intelligent system in the world. But there is one thing about them. They have produced intelligent people. A day will come when the intelligent people will overcome the unintelligent system. And then the Jews will come here. Ben-Gurion couldn't believe it, you know. I watched Nathan Sharansky. He didn't dream, Nathan, that you'll come here. And then Ben-Gurion, and he continued. And he said, where else? Then Ben-Gurion made a terrible faux pas. He says, from France. He says, what? Somebody leave France because it's true? Ben-Gurion says, yes. So give me an example. So he says, Rothschild. Oh, he says, Rothschild is not French, he's Austrian. Oh, okay. Who else? And then he mentioned the name of the founder of Mikveh Yisrael, who was the Minister of Justice of France. So de Gaulle says, well, he's not a normal person. And then he asked him, so why did you agree to a partition? He said, Ben-Gurion says, you know what? That was the only way to save the people who remained out of the Shoah. That was my priority. I look back, think, my God, that was our great dream. Today, we are far ahead of that dream. And then Ben-Gurion told us, and that's another point that he has in mind, he would like Israel to become an Oxford and the Yavne. Oxford means knowledge. Yavne means values. I would like that Israel will be based on knowledge and on values. At that time, we didn't have an idea that Israel would become a high-tech country. So the army didn't just fight. The army has had to introduce high-tech to Israel. And I think today, you know, this dream is still a call. And I think I would like to see Israel a country of great knowledge and a country of deep values. It goes together, it must come together. And then clearly he said, I would like to see peace with the Arabs. If I would say it in the present language, I would say I would like the Palestinian state to become the first Arab state which enjoys democracy and freedom. I think they are able to do it, and I think we would like to see them living in peace, in security, in prosperity, like we do, like others do. The greatest hope for all of us is freedom and bread, dreams and bread for all of us, without exception. In the domain of peace, we have achieved already something. People think that nothing happened. We have peace with Egypt. Not a perfect, maybe, peace, but better an imperfect peace than a perfect war. We have peace with Jordan, and we pray for the Jordanian security and independence and freedom. We are trying very hard to finalize the agreements with the Palestinians, like the Prime Minister. I do believe it's possible. It can be sooner than we think. We have to take the right decisions, and there is no way but to meet in the middle road on a common ground, where the two parties will do the necessary compromise to achieve the greatest accomplishment that we can, which is to live in peace. Our children, their children, our mothers, their mothers, all of us. And I speak from the depth of my heart. A dream. Now then, Israel, when I look back again from my old age, did something which is unique. We are the first to show that in order to make food, you need knowledge not less than land and water. Israel has an excellent agriculture, not because we have so much water or so much land, because we put in so much soul and knowledge in every flower, in every vegetable, in every fruit. And you know what? It served us tremendously. I'm not talking just about exporting agricultural goods. Israel exports $1.5 billion of agricultural goods to countries like Russia and France and England. But if something gave a great name to Israel, is our agriculture. If China is friendly to Israel, if India is friendly to Israel, it is very much because what we have shown can be done in the domain of agriculture. Then, it wasn't our choice, but it was our must. Israel has shown that you can defend your life if you don't make from war a wish, but from war a challenge. In the 63 years of our existence, we have had to go through 7 wars, outnumbered, outgunned. Numerically, we should have lost all of them. In fact, we didn't lose any of them. And I look again around and I see that our security relations with other nations are better than our diplomatic one. Because people know their enemies and terror, and they see a country defending herself, keeping her values, never trying to become an aggressor, but always showing that you can be a defender. And now I think, so those are 2 unique contributions appreciated by the rest of the world, more than any speeches, more than any public relations. Now I think, what is the third one? And I think what we have to do now is to put in the center of our life health, physical health, intellectual health, moral health. You know, until now, the technology was about our surroundings, how to make a better living, how to have more income, how to improve many of our human conditions or daily conditions. We ignored one message, and that is the human being himself. We used our human being talents to create better conditions for us, but we ignored the attempt to make ourselves better people. And I do believe that the next 10 years will be concerned about improving our own selves, all of us.